What is going on, good people of the internet? It is time once again for us to sit down as African American nerds, as blerds, as black nerds, whatever you want to call us. We are here once again to talk about whatever we want to talk about when it comes to nerd culture or just black culture and everything in between. This is a show we call Blerd Grounds. My name is James Portis. We are here once again with my amazing staff. And Andre, and two, well, your staff, your social media staff. But
that was me.
I'm just giving you shit because I appreciate you coming in this evening. Speaking of which, our amazing social media manager, Andre Drew, how are you doing this evening?
I'm conflicted about things that we'll discuss at a later time.
You mean in a moment?
Sure, that's a later time.
And then we have the next to him we have the Weldmaster Supreme with the hair that just keeps growing. We have Travis Tucker. How you doing this evening?
Feeling the power with the length of my hair.
Oh my god!
Afro Samurai better watch his back.
Yes, I don't want that number 2 headband. That's way too much stress.
Oh my god!
No, you go for the number 1 headband.
Oh dear. Next to him we have the doctor that apparently needed to make sure that he ate his dinner before he had the show this evening. Dr. Aaron Jones.
I was gonna die.
This man literally he's in the Discord chat, literally saying, "I need to hold off on the show for a minute or else I'm going to die. I need to eat."
It's been a long day.
How are you, Aaron?
I'm doing all right. Otherwise.
All right.
I ate.
That's good. What'd you eat?
I'm not gonna be hangry tonight. That's good. I had chicken and potatoes.
Oh, there you go. That's
real basic tonight.
Nice. And next to him, we have the man who seems to never sleep, but he is still alive and he is putting in that work. Mr. Marcus, how you doing this evening?
What up, though?
All right, then. Is that all you got to say, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
A man of few words. I like it.
A man of few words. Don't forget that you can follow this podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Blerd Grounds. You can follow the website on Twitter and Instagram at On Comics Ground, and check out the website oncomicsground.com. Put some hyphens between those words for me, where you can check out all of our reviews, solicitations, previews, all that good stuff every weekday for you good people. And you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, Spotify. We just got we are officially on iHeartRadio for anybody who prefers that app. And we just submitted our information to be on Pandora soon. So Pandora started doing podcast stuff. So that's cool. So if you make sure you please go on Apple Podcast and rate us, give us a 5-star review. That way we can be found easier. It would help us out extremely. All right. So
anything less than a 5 and we'll find you in the street.
You can catch these hands.
Oh, they are tax free.
Tax free.
Bro, did you not hear about there was this great what was it, a couple years ago where someone tried to come at Wesley Snipes on Twitter because he was just tweeting talking about how he missed playing Blade, and someone said, "Didn't you get arrested for tax evasion?" And he posted a meme of him from a movie where he was fighting, and he said, "Hey man, you catch these hands tax free."
He would probably whoop his ass too.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
That blade training doesn't go away.
No, it does not.
I think he's like an actual martial artist, though.
I think he is. Yeah, that's how he did Expendables without too much effort.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple of news stories of note before we let Dr. Jones educate us, as this is our last episode of Black History Month. So you get to enjoy that about us. So first thing up we'll start small before you get to listen to Andre and I bitch. Actually, no, let's get the bitching out of the way first, Andre.
I feel like you're going to do more bitching than I will.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Because we'll do the bitching first, and that way we can enjoy the rest of the show. Because there's actually good things to talk about the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So let us go back into the past, shall we? Where we go back to what was it? The 4th episode of this season. So, like, it's
This
also
show's such a fucking mess. Oh
like
my
it's
god.
the worst season of Power Rangers, and to cap it all off, few years later go by.
Oh god.
We enter Power Morphicon, which is the big Power Rangers convention of the.
Was it the initial one? Like
It
the
was-
very
it-
first one?
It was the first one.
Oh, that's
Oh
even
my
worse.
God. How do you fuck it up on the first try?
It was either the first one or the second. It was either the first one or the second one because it was when Samurai was coming out. And they have a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing where they're giving away a bunch of signed posters from a bunch of signed Rangers. It's like one giant poster with a bunch of Rangers signing it. And they give it away to some Make-A-Wish kids. The actor who plays Will is the worst fucking human being on the face of the fucking earth. Because he takes the poster, goes home with it, and when the organization constantly berates and calls him, he goes, "No, I'm never giving it back. I wanted a souvenir and I took it." So
he really took method acting to a whole
because he was a thief in the show. So, since we just went back into the past and gave you a quick refresh on Samuel Benta as a human being, he chose to come out yesterday at the woodwork 13 years later.
whole last decade.
13 years later, after so many people have commented and tweeted and had discussions on message boards about his stupidity or alleged stupidity, as Michael Jackson from South Park would say, allegedly.
Oh God!
I need to get a soundboard for shit like this. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So there's that whole issue of that, and he decided to come out on YouTube. He made a whole YouTube video saying why he didn't do it. He claimed that there was a helper at the Morphicon that seemed to be very distressed. He emphasized the idea that this helper, this worker at the con, was very distressed, and he said that he would take the banner because the banner hadn't been signed by all the Rangers yet. He said he would help out the helper and take it to the green room to help out and get things signed. And that's why we see him exiting the Austin St. John panel with the banner. He was apparently going to go to the green room. But then he says that when he's having drinks and talking with Austin St. John, who is on stage when he is seen leaving with the banner, Austin St. John is on stage while Benta is seen leaving with the banner. He says he was having drinks, hanging out with people like Austin St. John and Paul Schreier, who played Bulk, and they were just kicking it. And when he turned back around, the banner was gone. And he spends the rest of this 15-minute video passing judgment on the entire community of how we should be ashamed of ourselves for treating him this way for so many years. He says the reason why he took 13 years to speak out was because he was hurt, that he was banned, and nobody ever even asked him if he actually stole it. They just took the video as fact and said that he stole the banner and never even asked. And the reason why he's making this video is to finally get it off because so many people were in the comments of his YouTube channel for his British TV brand saying that he was a horrible person and that he stole from children. So he wanted to come to grips with this. So, fellas, Travis and Andre were here for the original episode when I went off about this that we just flashed back to. But Aaron, Marcus, I want to get your opinion on this before me and Andre go in. How did you feel about this as casuals just now hearing about this?
To be quite honest with you, I don't really have one. This
That's
whole
fair.
culture is kind of new and strange to me, and quite frankly,
It's gonna
Quite
remain
frankly-
strange to you.
Yes.
quite frankly, I'm a little bit frightened.
Frightened?
You should be.
Okay, Aaron, do you have any thoughts? Since Marcus seems to be frightened, not of the scary thing we'll be talking about later.
New and scary things frighten me.
Yeah.
Is that what you got to, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just mad confused. Like
Join the
for
club.
me, if I'm accused of something that I didn't do, I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to retreat and allow for people to talk bad about me for 13 years. Now, if if he indeed was, doing something good or whatever, blah blah blah, like, why didn't he broadcast that? Like, why, why aren't people speaking, on his behalf? Or I just don't get it. Like, it's such an elaborate lie. Like,
that's a great way to phrase it.
and I just, like, I'm just, I'm flabbergasted, and I didn't even know it was a thing necessarily until you all brought it to my attention. It's just another notch on the, humans aren't shit list. So,
all right. Travis, you're in the middle of this. Where like you're half casual, half more integrated fan now that you've dealt with me, Jasmine, and Andre for a few episodes. So, how do you feel about this situation?
Man, okay, so like,
whenever somebody starts like that, you know it's about to go down.
You always lie.
Oh, like, that's where I'm, because it's like, okay, 13 years though, like, why? After all the years of being like, nah, you can't have this back, and be like, I never had it. I never had that shit. You know what I mean? It just sounds real suspect to me that after all this time of having so much resistance in the like the I'm the villain, you can't stop me, mwahaha type of way, how you gonna be like, well, that was different. You know what I mean? Like, no, he an asshole.
Okay, Andre, your turn.
Okay, here's my thing. My main issue, and I've been harping, and you said this too, like, why would you wait 13 years to say something if you knew you didn't do it? Like, common sense would think if I was accused of something that I personally know I do, one would think you'd be the first person to say, yo, wait a minute, I didn't do this. Now, granted, yes, there is evidence that he had it. That doesn't necessarily mean the story corroborates with what he said, because I need to see, like, footage from the green room. Because I'm going so far as to say, I think he knows who did it, but is just not putting it out there. I think he knows who did it. But I just, why put out a video about it? You couldn't just like say it another way, because he also called out like Ranger Board people. Like, he called people out. So and then also in the video he's like, nobody went and asked me about this and blah blah blah. I'm like, you wouldn't have answered it anyway. You said it yourself. Silence is like the best option. So like, why would you answer a question?
See,
it's suspect. It's hella suspect.
See, when Andre first called me and told me this existed, and he hadn't watched it yet, and he wanted me to watch it and tell him what happened. He didn't want to watch it himself. I watched this, and I was like, I went in optimistically, like, maybe he's just gonna say, look, I stole it. I was a shit person back then. I lost it in a move. It's gone. I want to apologize. I made some mistakes. I've been working in this amazing company for a few years now, making good shit for British people of color. I've been doing good shit. Cool, whatever. Benton, we could have been square. We could have been square.
We could have been.
But you chose to come up in this thing, and I will give him the benefit of the doubt. If you are proven to be correct, if this mystical like helper at Power Morphicon comes out of the woodwork and defends you, okay, cool, bet.
That's all I need.
I will swear by the good graces of God, and then like that you are innocent, and I will apologize. And like, he's even saying one of his fellow Rangers, I think he said the Pink Ranger in the video, that like he has talked to her and they are friends. And he was the Pink or the Yellow Ranger because he said
I think it's Pink. He said Pink.
And they still talk to each other, and he doesn't understand why he's so hated. He didn't do anything to her for years now, but he never said anything to anybody else. You waited all this time during Black History Month for you to come out the woodwork and say this. And I can
keep his black card somehow.
I can even remember when I first was making the agenda for the Power Rangers episodes, and I said to Andre, I don't want to talk about this guy. This man stole from children. We have been led to believe for 13 years that this man stole from children. If he didn't in fact do this, if he did not do this, okay, bet, that's cool. But I don't see, and if you look at the video, the 30-second video, this man is in like basketball clothes. He's in a sleeveless shirt and some like hammer pants looking like basketball, like sweatpants, and is backpack on, walking out the door, like, because it's a hotel. He's walking out the hotel auditorium with this banner in one hand and his bag in the other hand. And he looks like he's just going home. He don't look like he going to the green room. He look like he's going home. And he says, I hung out with Austin St. John and Paul Schreier. ASJ is on stage. If you like, so it infuriates me, but also I've become so cold to it where it's like, Benson, I don't care. Like, I'm frustrated, but at the end of the day, I'm after this episode, I'm not wasting any more breath on you. Like, now, granted, matter of fact, I know you'll never hear of the show because you are in Britain and you don't care. I extend a formal invitation to come on to Blerd Grounds and defend yourself.
Nigga, don't do this.
I'm going to do it. I will extend a formal invitation for you to come on to Blerd Grounds and defend yourself. Because
say it with your whole chest, Aaron.
Say it with. I'm gonna say it because if you can track down, if you can contact Power Morphicon and find their staff list and figure out who this mystery because you even said it was a woman too. You said that she.
Oh no!
Like he made sure that he
was a woman.
He said that she was distressed and I wanted to help her. I was like, all right. So if you want to come on to this program and tell your story, your season was garbage. I'm gonna say that right now on the air. Your season was garbage. It was decreed the most hated season. Even one of the comments of his video, it says it's polarizing. Yeah, it's pretty polarizing. And if you want to come on to this show and defend yourself, I am a journalist. I will treat you with the utmost respect when you are on the air, and I will give you your time to speak. But then I'm gonna put that video in front of you, and I'm gonna say where'd you go? Because ASJ's on stage. Where'd you go? Oh, the green room. Okay, cool. Can you verify? Can you find this helper? But anyway, I'm gonna stop bitching.
I need sources.
So yes,
show me the receipts.
Yes, show me the receipts. So,
I need video evidence. I need corroborating witnesses.
Yes.
I need Schreier to say something. I need Austin to say something. I need other people to say something because this shit sounds like so far-fetched.
And the thing is, at the end of the video, he goes on this whole tirade about that Power Ranger fans are so shit for like burning him like this, and like that we should be ashamed of ourselves, and that he would never steal from children. I have a Jolta. I build like media programs for children.
Say it with your whole British accent, James.
And it's like, okay, cool. You may have done some, and then one of the comments even said it. They said, "Look, he ain't a Harvey Weinstein." Which, okay, cool. Yes, he's not a Harvey Weinstein. Which, yay, Harvey Weinstein's going to jail. But like,
pretty low.
You shooting for the end of the barrel, saying, "Yeah, at least he's not Harvey Weinstein, like assaulting people." But no, the possibility that he stole from 6 children. That's a little bit higher, right? Like,
I just feel, why are we making that comparison? Like, that's a stretch.
Travis, what are you about to say?
I said, Aaron, spill your tea.
But no, so Samuel Benson, if you want to come on to Blerd Grounds and defend yourself, I am open. I will. There will be no shit talking like I just did. I will be formal. No, because like we are professionals. We can conduct ourselves as such. We may be shit talking you right now because like you're not giving us much to work with here.
It's not even really shit talking. It's just questions. We have questions.
Okay. So if you want to come onto the show, come on down. Hit up my DMs.
I totally get what you guys are saying. But if he listens to this episode and then comes to interview, what's to say he said, he hadn't done this and it was stewing about it for 13 years, about to unleash a whole lot of fury. And I feel like back to the Boondocks episode, you're kind of inciting your own nigga moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. Anyway. I'll step on them new shoes right now. I'm gonna do it. I will step on them new shoes right now. I smell new shoes, Samuel Benson. Come square up. That's how I feel. Anyway, we're gonna move on from this bullshit and talk about something good. So Disney Plus had the ability to come to us today, and they tweeted out a picture. And if I have like what I sent it to a couple people, so I'll pull it up real quick. Hurry up and load, please. It said, "Hug 'em, #Proud Family, louder and proud." The show will be called Proud Family: Louder and Prouder. An all new original series is coming to Disney Plus. But the best part, the original cast is reprising their voice roles. So we don't have a date. We don't know when. We see BB and Cece from the Proud Family have been aged up. We see Penny holding a cell phone. In the picture, we have BB, Cece, Penny, Oscar, Trudy, and Sugar Mama, and Puff. And all we know is that it's official because, like, we had Joe Mary Payton, the voice of Sugar Mama, and she was on the Family Matters and other shows like that, except for that final season. And
she wasn't there.
And she came out in an interview, sort of like how John Witherspoon used to swear up and down that the Boondocks was going to come back. R.I.P. John. Like he used to swear up and down at different radio things that, the Boondocks coming back. She started doing this with Proud Family before Disney Plus had said it. And then the creators of the show said it was going to come back. And Andre, you were very adamant with me that this was going to happen, were you not?
I was. And I was right.
You were. But the thing is, and I'm going to still stick by my statement, the reports that say that the entire cast is coming back. A couple of different reports say that Kyla Pratt is coming back as well because the whole cast is coming back. I need a trailer, and I need to hear Kyla Pratt tell me that she's coming back. I need to hear Soleil Moonfry tell me she's coming back. I need confirmation that Orlando Brown's crazy ass is going to come back.
That's my question.
What is she doing?
She ain't doing shit. She'll be there.
Who's Soleil Moonfry?
No, she's too busy with Punky Brewster. Soleil Moonfry will come back eventually. Where is Kyla Pratt? What is she doing?
Yeah, well, Kyla Pratt apparently has had 2 kids in the shadows. She's been
raising her kids. She intentionally hasn't worked in the industry for a while because she said she was trying to just raise her kids.
Yep, she went on a talk show and talked about that. So now I need to know because I need to see her say that she's coming back, and I need to know who all from the original cast is coming back because we all know that Orlando Brown's crazy ass got himself kicked off coming back from Ravens home.
Ooh.
So are you gonna bring him?
Tommy Davidson ain't doing shit.
Yeah, Tommy Davidson ain't doing nothing.
Tommy Davidson said he was coming back too.
Okay, so Tommy Davidson's coming back.
He ain't doing shit.
Tommy Davidson's coming back. Joe Mary Payton's coming back. Those 2 are confirmed apparently. So what's Orlando Brown doing? Is he coming back?
Crazy. He's doing crap.
What's Soleil Moonfry doing?
Working on Punky Brewster.
I need Dejanay to come back, please.
He was on crack.
Yes, bro. The saddest thing, he just released a music video, and it's the weirdest freaking song. Oh my god!
I feel like I needed to be high to actually understand that.
Like it was the weirdest freaking video, bro.
I saw it on mute, and I just was like,
the song's called "Hi, I'm Famous," and it's so freaking cringe.
Are you
Cocaine's
though?
a hell of a drug.
Okay, it's a hell of a drug.
It is. Crack is whack.
And like, there's that TMZ video of like him getting arrested, and the body cam footage shows him on like a mattress, like no bed, just a mattress, and him with like his boxers and a wife beater. And it's the most depressing thing because like months prior, he didn't have half the tattoos that he had, and he had just been on The View with Raven talking about the show coming back. And then, like a few months later, he's cracked out his mind on a mattress, getting arrested. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, what happened?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So now that I've done like talk shit about Orlando Brown for a solid minute. How are you fellas feeling about the idea of the Proud Family coming back?
I mean, it's cool. I'm glad people are excited. I never watched it, so I don't really care.
What?
The only Disney Channel show that I remember is Lizzie McGuire because Hillary Duff is fine, and she's still fine.
That's also a good. That was my other point about the why I'm skeptical about Proud Family. Lizzie McGuire has officially been put on hold because they don't know what the hell direction to take the show in because the original showrunner left. So
I mean, just put Hillary Duff in front of the camera and we're good.
Oh my god!
Let her start directing. Shit, she know her character better than.
Okay, Aaron, what is your opinion of Proud Family coming back?
I think it's dope. I think it's one of those shows that that people that are like new adults, like this was for you youngins out there, like it was something that folks grew up with, and it's always good for me to have stuff like this be there for a new generation of folks too. So I'm here for it.
All right,
especially
Travis.
If old boy comes back and he's singing and whatnot. Yeah.
I ain't watching it unless Al Roker comes back.
Oh yeah, he wasn't not.
Travis, what is your thoughts on this coming back?
I'm excited. I watched a little bit of the Proud Family, but it was one of those shows where I was like, this is kind of more for girls than it is for boys.
Shit, this show is for everybody. What are you talking about?
Screw your gender roles.
But I watched.
Yeah, screw your gender role.
On to Disney Plus, but I was a fucking child.
I need to clip that. I was a fucking child.
Oh god.
We all grow up and evolve.
The show, when I rewatched it and I remember having fond memories of it, I need a Destiny's Child theme song though. Like, can we do that?
Hey.
I just need to see Wizard Kelly's face.
It'll never happen.
Like
never
fully.
Happen.
That's the only thing I ask for.
They will never give you Wizard Kelly's face. It'll never happen.
That's the only thing that I need from this when it does happen. Because I feel like that and Raven were like the cemented black shows on Disney Channel that I actually remember fondly of, especially when the Proud Family did that Black History episode. That was dope one. That was a very dope one.
Hell, the Kwanzaa episode, like they were not afraid. Hey, racism episodes in general, because there was multiple times they talked about it. Like they weren't afraid to speak on stuff that was important.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited.
It was important. I'm excited. I need it to happen. I need Wizard Kelly.
You're never gonna get Wizard Kelly's face.
Well, then I need the Gross Sisters to tell me to empty my pockets.
There you go. Okay, so that's what our thoughts on Proud Family coming back. The other thing that was announced today. Oh boy, does anyone want to sing it before I start talking?
Nope.
No one wants to sing.
Nope.
Marcus, you were singing a minute ago. Why are you singing now?
None of it.
Singing what?
What you talking
Candyman.
What?
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh, apparently they don't want to sing the song that we're singing earlier. But
No.
Y'all mic shy apparently. So
go ahead with your whole chest, James. Go ahead.
So
you can.
We got the teaser earlier in the week, but now on February 28th, that officially we are getting this Candyman sequel, reboot, whatever. Jordan Peele has revealed the first trailer. Black Manta is the main character, and I'm excited. Well, Dr. Manhattan also. Dr. Manhattan is the main character trying to do his artwork to to showcase the Candyman and all his legendary glory. And apparently, still in this damn town, when you say his name 5 times, he comes for you. So,
what's his name? What's it? Yaha? Is his name Yaha or Ya?
It's Yaya.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That dude's cashing checks.
Yeah, he really is. So, this trailer was scary as all hell. I felt so bad for old girl Mestal. Like that, she was going through it. And the idea that this dude could be like, Yaha could be the successor for the original Candyman is an interesting concept. I'm really excited for it. I know, like I had taken a nap and woken up to the trailer, but y'all saw it when it first dropped. Marcus, I'm gonna let you go first because you've been excited about this for a while. What were your thoughts about this?
It looks really good, really creepy, really intense. It's not going in an angle because what initially got me interested in it is it's kind of like a sequel but a reimagining at the same time because it takes place in the same neighborhood as the original, but it's actually addressing gentrification because the projects that were up in the original have been torn down, and so now it's kind of coming from Black folks trying to look into their past and see what this legend was about. The legend from the original time when this former slave was murdered and became a spirit to the projects when they were up in like the early 90s. So it's interesting to see that being addressed. And so it kind of seems like an urban legend now, but it seems like a lot of people are going to find out it's kind of real. And I feel like there's like a whole possession aspect that I wasn't expecting that looks like it could be interesting. I coming into it, I'd rather just have one of these people be Candyman and not have like a possession aspect. So I think the possession aspect in movies is a little overblown nowadays. But it looks creative enough that I'm still here for it. Because I was wondering who was gonna play Candyman. Was it Yaha or Yaya? I'm sorry. Then I saw Coleman Domingo is in it. I thought he might be Candyman because he would make a good Candyman. If you guys don't know, Coleman Domingo is Victor Strand from Fear the Walking Dead. He's a very good actor in his own right. And then I don't know why I thought this. Maybe I just thought every Black person was in it, but I could have swore Lakeith Stanfield was in it. And I was like, well, he would make a really good Candyman too, but I don't think he's actually in the movie. Or if he is, they're kind of saving him. And then you see, dang, what's her name? Is it Vanessa Williams?
Yep.
You see that she's reprising her role from the original Candyman. So there's going to be some legacy involved with it too. So I'm very excited. I'm excited to see a Black woman directing this. She's going to be put in a nice spot after this, and I think we'll see her career soar after this. And then Jordan Peele producing it. Everything he touches is pretty much gold right now.
Yep, it really is.
So I'm glad he has influence over it. And then just I'm loving this taking old Black pop songs and turning them into creepy ass music. I don't think we'll look at Say My Name the same, just like we didn't look at I Got Five on It the same after us. Okay. And I love both of those songs too, by the
way. Aaron, your thoughts on this trailer?
Like in the realm of like Black, I'd just say horror movies in general. Like it's one of those films that is it's a scary, like the original. I'll say like the original was a very scary movie. Like just the pacing and the just the crazy jump shots and just and just the creepiness of Tony Todd. Like it was
my victim.
It was like it is a certified classic. And you always are afraid of what people do, whether it be a sequel or like a remake. You're always afraid of what it could potentially do to a film that you love, scared of. And I think that like for all the like literally Marcus said all the things that I wanted to say. Like, just
Sorry.
the combination of the just the combination of the director, Jordan Peele, the actors that are in it, the reprisals, the the concepts, the the social commentary. That like it's gonna be dope, and pretty much I hate to put anybody on a pedestal, but like Jordan Peele, like he pretty much like he's got it, like he's got the golden touch, and I have not been disappointed yet. Well, I was disappointed with the Twilight Zone thing, the fact that I have to get CBS All Access to watch it, and I'm not going to watch any of it because I'm getting it. But like
I heard it wasn't very
it
good
just
either.
looks so dope.
Really?
Yeah, I heard the Twilight Zone wasn't very good.
Oh, dang.
That's unfortunate. I'm never going to see
Oh, and
it.
I just
so
wanted
don't
to
know.
say sorry, but I wanted to say the director's name is Nia DaCosta. I don't want us to just talk about Jordan Peele. The actual director is Nia
No,
DaCosta.
yeah.
She deserves all the credit. Like she
Mhm.
deserves. Like this
So
is
let's
amazing.
make sure we know who she is.
Yo.
Yes, Travis, your thoughts? Did Travis die again? Someone get the Lazarus pit. Travis.
Well,
is
let me jump in with this until Travis gets his bearings. One of the things I forgot to mention is that even though I'm kind of against the whole possession aspect, it did look like there's going to be some creative kills because of that. Because a lot of the kills we see in the trailer are like Candyman's unseen; you can't see him, or you see his reflection in a mirror, or you see his shadow, but you don't actually see him. So, and that kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. If you haven't, go see it right away. It's Wes Craven's A New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of some of the kills in that movie.
Best one.
It probably, I think it is. Maybe after, it probably is one of the best ones, if not the best.
I'm not the biggest fan of New Nightmare. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll fight you right now.
Boy.
But you know what's
I'm
crazy?
a Freddy
You know
fan.
it's, and I'm
Let's
going on a
fight.
tangent. But you know what's crazy? The year after that movie came out, I think Scream came out.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so. Either a
No,
year or
yeah.
2 years after A New Nightmare, Scream came out.
Yeah,
Scream
because
is older. Scream is older than you think it is.
Yeah.
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 That's how ahead of its time that movie is.
Wow.
But yeah, but
Yeah,
Travis,
I mean,
what you
they're 2
thinking,
years
my
apart.
brother? I'll fight you too, Aaron.
Oh, Travis, are you ready to give your thoughts?
King Manhattan.
Oh no, we cannot hear you, Travis. Your audio must be malfunctioning. Andre, would you like to give your thoughts while Travis rejoins us?
It wasn't me.
No, Travis.
I did not see the original because I think that came out before I was born.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You gotta get on that, man.
Yeah, I need to get on that. But watching that trailer, ooh, that was creepy. That was creepy as hell.
See, for
I don't do horror movies, but I feel like that's a horror movie that's going to make me think about things, which is fine.
You know it's crazy. I've heard that from so many people today. Like, I usually don't like horror movies, but I gotta see this.
They're doing it for the culture, as they say.
I'm gonna do it for the culture. I'm gonna take one for the team. Watch it.
I respect it.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes. You know what, my
Okay,
brother?
it
You were
was so frustrating.
melanating to a high level. You were melanating to such a high level, my brother, that we
Oh
could
my
not
God.
hear your presence.
We just weren't on that
offended us,
frequency
my
yet,
brother.
you know.
Oh no!
You was offended, my brother.
And see, there's where Candyman is a symbol because as a culture we swarm on the white man.
Oh man!
See, y'all are not hearing this. You got to see with your third eye.
I love this.
We need to be a hive. We need to take care of our queens, and we are the kings.
This movie is about fighting back against gentrification. We are taking back what's ours.
You can see, but you're not using your sight.
Well, I hate this so much.
I feel like this makes me want to watch it more because now.
No, Andre. Honestly, like
Things.
Andre, like, do you know who plays the Candyman?
Tony Todd.
Is that? Yeah, that's the name, isn't it? Yeah, like have you've seen the Final Destination movies, right?
Yes.
Like he's the dude who he's who's in the he's the cremator dude. He's the coroner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he has this whole thing about him having the hook head and the bees. Like he's you should go back and watch the originals.
Okay.
He's also the voice of Zoom in season 2 of The Flash.
Yep.
Oh, he was in Star Trek. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
That okay.
All right, Mr. Manhattan. You need to give your thoughts.
I'm pretty excited. I didn't watch the trailer. I saw all the memes, but I do remember Candyman from when I was younger. And when I was younger, that movie had me real messed up. I remember I had to when I was leaving the bathroom, I'd have to turn the light off and shut the door real quick, not even look in the mirror.
Oh shit.
But I'm kind of curious to see how they incorporate the bees. That's kind of where I was going with that, because I remember that was what had me real messed up the most.
Oh, they're still a part of it. They're still.
Yeah, they really are. Them bees ain't no joke.
See, I already don't like bees as it is.
And Andre, they use bees in very disturbing ways in the movie. Just so you know.
They do.
I'm gonna do it for the culture anyway. I'm gonna just look at bees sideways now.
Oh shit, he was Icon in Young Justice.
Was he
Yeah,
really?
Tony Todd's. He's done a lot of voice work, hasn't he?
He's currently Darkseid in all the shitty New 52 movies.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff apparently.
The voice of the Fallen in that one Transformers.
He's played Blade in a few Marvel video game projects.
Wasn't he Starscream, or was that a different person?
No, that was a different person.
That was a different person. He was Deadwing in Transformers Prime.
Yeah, he was.
If that helps.
So you were close.
Yeah.
He was in What's New Scooby-Doo for an episode.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But no, I'm really excited for this movie. I remember being terrified of the Candyman as a child. So to get this new retelling from somebody who, up until now, I haven't seen Twilight Zone, but up until now, from what I've seen, has just been doing amazing work for the culture. So he's been paving this way, and I know people give him flack because he said he doesn't want to cast a white person in the lead. Okay, get off your high horse. This movie's going to be amazing. I'm excited. Okay, now, Dr. Jones. Are you prepared to take over for your lesson?
I mean, I'll talk a bit. I will want y'all to participate like usual, and I feel more like we need a conversation.
All right, let's do it.
I'm down.
Put the dogs away.
The dog is down too.
Yeah. Because the dog is really speaking to us. My God. The dog is really saying,
"We was wolves."
Vibrate.
We was wolves and then domesticated by the white man.
Oh God, I hate it.
Y'all didn't think I could flip that, huh?
We need to be set free in the wild.
You was not seeing what I'm seeing.
I
You're not
can't.
vibrating on my frequency, my brother.
Them cats is taking over the earth.
You may be Barry Allen, but you not
Earth
Wally
with an
West,
F.
my brother.
You are Wallace West.
Right. I am Bart Allen. You are Barry Allen. You are not on my frequency, my brother.
Oh my God.
I'm in the future.
The fastest hotep alive. Anyway.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
It had to be
Oh my
done.
God.
Blerd Grounds is committed to help amplify Black voices, so we're offering advertising space on this podcast for Black creators to help get their projects the attention they deserve. If you would like to advertise on the Blerd Grounds podcast, email us at bgpodcast@on-comics-ground.com for more information. Thank you, and let's get back to the show.
It had to be done. It had to be said.
And Doctor, lead us in this discussion.
I might change my Twitter header to
that. Essentially, what I wanted to talk about tonight was I wanted to talk about like unsung heroes kind of as an overarching idea, like who are the characters, particularly like Black characters or creators that really don't get the airplay they deserve. But as an undercurrent to that, like talking about representation and how that is changing, and like talking a little bit as well about representation for Black women, particularly,
Ooh.
or
Ooh.
just Black folks. Um, and Black non-binary folks too, because I also want to kind of just start off by saying that, like, we're, as a bunch of men to talk about the topic, like, we're maybe not the best people to talk about it or know all of the elements or know all about.
Yeah, sadly, Jasmine's moving, so she wasn't able to join us this evening.
Yeah. So shout out to Jasmine. I hate moving. Moving sucks. And
Hardest working woman in Seattle.
Yep. But like, I think it is still important for those of us who have that privilege to like be able to speak up on things that are issues, even if they are not particularly our issues, but they are kind of our issues. But so like, I can't, and there are people that I don't know about that probably maybe James knows more about, or there are like, I have this handy dandy encyclopedia of Black comics which was written by, guess what, a black woman, Black women saving us again, and particularly Dr. Sheena Howard, who's a professor at Rider University, was writing her dissertation and was supposed to write this literature review about like Black comics and Black cartoonists, and like trying to find a history of it, and realize that like nobody has done that, or like really tried to catalog Black creators for long periods of time. Of course, now there are other books that are making the attempts to do things like that, but this is literally a book that like lists people and their background and their name, like things about them important. There are a lot of Black women in this book. But like, historically, I'll have one historical fact, and then I want to jump to our conversation. The first Black woman cartoonist is this woman named Jackie I'm probably butchering the name, but Orms, or I think it's Orms. And she wrote this comic called Torchy Brown and Dixie to Harlem. Like, the character was Torchy Brown in Dixie to Harlem. And it was first printed in 1937. So that's a long time ago. And I think that we always forget about pioneers like that. But like, there were of course almost no one before then. And then now there are smackerings. There's emerging folks that are in the field of comics and genre, science fiction. They're doing really dope things, and there's not a lot of airplay to the character Torchy Brown, and it was definitely probably a precursor for characters like Foxy Brown and Cleopatra Jones and all these other characters. And then thinking about Watchmen and Sister Night, and like how that is like a continuation of that as well, highlighting Black women in their. So I think that like it's so important for us to like have these conversations, like people, like who's creating, who gets to create, who gets to tell particular stories, and I want us to dig into some of that. So I want to start off as far as questions, like, who's your favorite character that nobody really knows that much about, and then particularly think about like a Black female, Black woman character that you really enjoy, that people that don't get the credit and the acclaim that they deserve. So with a character, we'll start with a character. Allow people to jump in as they see fit.
So this is interesting. In terms of a character, see, my immediate thought is I find myself wanting to discuss the past week or so with Black Lightning, but not Black Lightning specifically, but the episode of Black Lightning that we had, Gravedigger. Gravedigger, like, is a character from the old war comics that DC used to publish, Men of War, and over the years, there's been different iterations of Gravedigger as a character, and they seem to have created an amalgamation of all of the Gravedigger appearances over the years and made him one character on the show. And there was this big upsurge on Black Twitter the past week, and a couple of there was the few racists that came out of the woodwork to get mad over them changing a part of his origin to be more of a line of him possibly being just the Black Captain America who just went AWOL on America. And there were so many people up in arms about it, and then Black Twitter came to the defense of the TV show. And it had me wondering why is that the situation we deal with, where a small character like that has to not be similar to Captain America, it's a problem that he is. If that makes sense. Am I making sense?
Yes.
No, yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Because I know nobody but Marcus is caught up on Black Lightning besides me. But
I fell behind too.
Oh,
I'm a couple episodes behind.
Also, Wayne Brady
yeah.
up in here choking bitches, and I think it's awesome.
No, I saw when he whooped Khalil's ass, but I missed this past week's episode.
Oh, this past week, it was his entire backstory about how he is the first ever metahuman to exist, and how the government, like he was in like during World War II, he was part of the Black division of only Black soldiers, and when he tried to fight back against a white officer that assaulted him, they either were going to court-martial him or he could be subjected to experiments to become Captain, like basically their version of Captain America.
So he's Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, basically. And when he decided that he didn't want to go to a country, he didn't want to go back to a country that didn't want him, he went AWOL and went to Markovia. So I just think it's interesting that that there were so many people hurt and bothered by the idea that he could be similar to Captain America in origin. So they decided to get up in arms about it. He's such a minor character, and I know that Wayne Brady is having the time of his life right now. So for he's a major comic book fan. And in terms of Black minor characters that need a lot of spotlight, fucking Monica Rambeau. Like, she has been depowered. She's been she's not as strong as she used to be. And because of that, people wanting Carol to be like the main frontrunner as Captain Marvel in the main MCU, Monica's just been thrown to the side and is only getting to be an adult thrown into WandaVision. And I find myself bothered by that.
Well, I think her time is coming. I think, unlike DC, Marvel actually capitalizes when they're introducing characters to either the small screen or the big screen. So I think we'll see an uptick in her being around comics. It's already starting with Strike Force, and I know Strike Force gets a lot of mixed reviews depending on who you talk to about it. It's a strange book. It's very strange, but I think we'll see some stuff coming with her in the future.
Okay.
For me, Aaron, to answer your question, I think of Misty Knight. Misty Knight is always just kind of like a cool character. Like, she seems kind of stuck in the 70s a little bit, but like it's not corny. And I always like the PI version of Misty Knight. I know right now I think she works for like a Shield offshoot, but I always like the PI version of Misty Knight, where she's just investigating like small scale stuff and kicking people's ass with karate and her robot arm and just being just dope as hell. Like a comic book version of Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
and her and Iron Fist never kind of made sense as a couple, but it was kind of cool because they both like knew martial arts and would just tag team kick people's ass.
Well, apparently
But
her and Falcon are still dating, like in the comics after this week's Falcon and Winter Soldier. So that's a thing.
right. Well, there was something else I read where it was some character was supposed to be dating the Falcon. What was I reading? And they were,
I just
it
know
was like
that
it was like a white girl too, and I don't know what was.
I just know this week in Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky has to find somewhere to put his cat because someone attacked his house, and they try to take it to Misty, and the cat attacked Misty, so they couldn't.
You know what? It might have been Misty. I think I read that in Blind Spot, the Jessica Jones Blind Spot this week. So I think it was Misty. But yeah, Misty. No, and then I love Simone Missick's interpretation of the character on Luke Cage. And she was also in Defenders and in Iron Fist. Like she's a dope actress. It sucks we didn't get to see more of her. I'm glad she's got a show on right now that she's on. And I think she's on this new season of Altered Carbon, which is on Netflix. So yeah, Simone Missick did the character well, and she did well for the time she was with the character. And I hope we get to see, a little bit more of her.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Travis. Did he die again?
Okay. No, I'm not dead. I'm here. Alive and well. For a character that I liked, there's a few, but a recent one I've kind of picked up on, and it's kind of been a snowball effect. I kind of blame James, my other friend, shout out to Daniel, for pushing One Piece on me really hard.
I felt that too.
And I've been reading the manga because the anime is really hard to chew through. But I'm gonna share the page. But Usopp gets my shout out, honestly.
Well then,
yeah,
all right.
And that's because I feel like he kind of represents a more realistic like struggle to try to be great and black, and like how it kind of affects you.
Okay.
Because when you first meet Usopp, he's really like unassuming, but he's very passionate. He's very well thought out, and he does his best. And his best, just for these people that have all these resources above him, really don't like care how much he tries. They always try to shut him down. But when Luffy and Zoro meet him, they're like, "Yo, this dude's real," and they stand up next to him and help him uplift himself and his people, literally his people, right then and there. And then so like later on, what kind of really made me fall in love is this scan right here I put in the chat of him explaining to Luffy the importance of the afro. And the translation is a little rough, but I don't know, it hit me in such a manner that I was like, this takes some serious like care in your writing, in my opinion.
Damn. All right.
And then as far as like black women characters that I feel like don't get like really any spotlight, Vixen is kind of a big one for me. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
she was in Legends of Tomorrow, and that was pretty cool, but she really wasn't like the badass that we see in the comics. And she hasn't been that badass in the comics for like 10 years almost. It's been a while.
Well, she recently had she was the leader of the Justice League of America when Steve Orlando was writing it. But even then, like that was during Rebirth. But even then, the book was canceled so quickly she couldn't even get her bearings. So it's like people keep underestimating her, and she keeps getting thrown to the side.
That's rough. See, I miss Vixen when she was pulling powers from people, and they gave her that evolution. You remember what I'm talking about during the Amazo days?
Yep.
And she took Amazo's powers, and it was just like, oh, okay, so she's stronger than everybody here. She went toe-to-toe with Superman back in those days.
Yep.
I remember back in she was catching bullets with what was it? The mantis shrimp's ability. She was doing all kinds of stuff, while at the same hand, she was her life as Anansi, she was also taking care of that the whole time. And I feel like that's like kind of like I don't know, the struggle of black women they don't really tell you is how much they have to hold up. And Vixen does that all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Real.
Good stuff.
Andre?
For black female characters, I'm gonna go with Bumblebee, actually.
Ooh.
I'm gonna really go with Bumblebee because I feel like she doesn't get as much as I would like her to. Now, granted, I've only seen her in the animated form, not in any comic book iteration. So I've mostly seen her in the Teen Titans and the Teen Titans Go. But from the little things that I have seen from her, I really feel like she should be put more on a pedestal than she actually is.
Well, good sir. If we go back to Titans Hunt, right before DC Rebirth started, there was the entire situation where she got her powers because she was married to Mao, and he had given up being a superhero, but she had finally got her powers, and she was a part of the Titans book when Titans Rebirth started. But then she just got kicked off. Well, she left the team to go be a mom, and then we didn't hear from her again. And it was like y'all just wrote her out the book for no reason.
Yeah, that's trash. I need that not to be a thing anymore. And then the other part, I'm gonna go with I related to Brock a lot when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because even just going back and rereading about him, because there were maybe things that I didn't know about him, like his personality traits, aside from like the overly obsessing about women thing, like he was the responsible one. He's the older brother character. Like that resonated with me because I'm usually like the older brother type to some people, even though I am also an older brother. So like I fit that role per se, and I tend to like try and take care of people and all that good stuff. So I always felt like some low-key connection to Brock outside of his womanizing. I wish he'd quit, but beggars can't be choosers.
Nice to him.
Well, no, apparently he got himself a woman in the Sun and Moon anime.
Oh, good for him. He deserves it. Is it an Officer Jenny or a nurse?
No, it was the Rock gym leader of Sun and Moon.
Oh, well, they'll never be Officer Jenny or Nurse Joy. Or Professor Ivy, or numerous other women. But good for him. Good for him.
All right.
So, for me, I say the best for last. Storm. And like Storm is just the dopest, just Black woman comic character. Period. She's a goddess. They always bring her around to save, exciting, like bring the excitement in Black Panther. Like,
she's the only good part of Space Wakandans right now.
Absolutely. And like, and then as a X-Man or X-woman or X-person, like she's always the dopest. Always the person who has the best ideas, the one who's keeping people together and taking care of people. Like just the epitome of the way Black women have showed up in my life personally, and I think other folks can probably relate. And like leader of the Morlocks, leader of the X-Men, like ushering people in the Hickman X-Men, like giving people back their names and everything. Like she is the dopest thing in I can say that without hesitation.
Aaron, don't read Giant Size X-Men this week. Don't do it.
No,
don't do it.
Aaron, let me ask you. Without this week's comics including, because I haven't read them all yet. How do you feel Hickman's new X-Men initiative has treated Storm?
I know people are mad about the whole the coloration thing.
I don't think it has anything to do with Hickman though.
That's an honest problem.
I don't either, but like it's been mired by that. People have like been like really talking about that a lot. And I don't know. Like I'm not a colorist, so I don't know what that struggle looks like. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's been dope. Like I like the whole new era X-Men. It's been really exciting and different. I haven't been able to keep up with like everything, but I think the parts that Storm part of have been
okay. So, do you want to know what happened this week?
No, I haven't read it yet.
Do I?
I don't. I do not.
It's gonna hurt you.
Don't
I
do
do
it
not
to him.
want to
Don't
know.
do it.
I do not.
Travis,
want
do you
to
know what happened?
Stop
No.
trying to hurt us, James.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
He's been
I'm
doing
not
that
gonna
a lot
hurt
to me
you.
this-
I'm not gonna hurt you. Hickman's gonna hurt you.
Spoiler
It really
rules
be your own
are
nakers.
fully. Spoiler rules are fully. Wait, did you say that with the hard R?
Nakers.
I think he said Nakers.
Oh, okay.
What in the world?
Have you guys missed that whole meme? All right.
Let's not.
Let's not.
Let's not do that. But no, see, I'm not trying to hurt you. Hickman hurt you this week. Hickman really hurt. I'm surprised Black Twitter isn't in flames right now after this week.
Spoilers are full effect right now. I have not read it yet.
Okay, so you're gonna have to read it after the show because it's gonna be bad.
Gotcha.
I'm pulling it up now. So maybe by the end of it I'll be crying. I don't know. But yeah, Storm is it. I think as well in general about a character that like people don't really know anything about that I would like, it's a newer character and there's also kind of a level of controversy just about like, Black characters that are not written by Black folks, how that can be an issue. But I've liked Naomi, like the like introduction character.
Respect.
DC.
Very dope character.
I have my issues, but she's a dope character.
Yeah, definitely. There, it's not perfect by any, but I think it shows something. It's making a big statement. So I think like I want us to talk about a little bit about creators as we think about unsung heroes and people who aren't getting airplay. I think I wanted to talk about this especially because there are a lot of Black women creators that are doing really dope stuff right now who are spanning different kind of mediums. Like there are people that are like, full professors at places and they're writing, comics on the side and like should be, I guess, I feel given a lot more to write or like given the ability to like, create more. I follow them, a lot of them on Twitter, and I'm like your Roxanne Gaze, your Nindia Corfor, Eve Ewing, N.K. Jemisin, and then Vidi Ayala. Like I feel like they're people that are, doing really dope stuff. Like I want to be, a creator like them when I grow up. And so like, besides them or including them, thinking about like creators or folks of color, Black folks that are out there doing really dope stuff that, we talk about or folks want to highlight, I think that would be a great time to talk about that. I think I also want to give a shout out to like remember when we had that Rise of Black Panther, that miniseries about basically it was around during the movie and there was the kind of it's this like retelling of the origin of Black Panther by Evan Narcisse, and he like I interviewed him Silicon Valley Comics a couple years ago, and just a really dope retelling that was like really easy, simple, easy to follow, really well written, better than other things. I'll just say that. And also someone that I'm trying to get to maybe in the future come on an episode of this podcast or to my campus where I work is John Jennings. He is the author of like he like actually like writes books about comics and he's a professor at my alma mater, and he's also an artist. He actually did the adaptation of Parable of the Sower, which is by Octavia Butler. That's just recently came out, and So people are versatile out here, particularly Black people, out here doing things. And so, yeah, like, do folks have like creators or folks in mind? Because I want this to be an opportunity for us to showcase and show people that there are some great stuff out. There's some great stuff out there. And yeah.
I got two in mind. Number one, you already mentioned Eve Ewing. I think she's a star in the making. I think she's going to be doing some big projects for Marvel. I mean, she already got one in the works, the Outlawed, which is about to drop. Well, I think next month. Is it next month or April? That Outlawed.
It's next month.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big event. It seems like it's going to be Civil War Part 3-ish, kind of, but maybe a little better executed. So,
Yeah.
because it makes sense. You can't have all these little kids running around with powers and shit. You got to kind of shut that down. So that it seems like it's going to be mixed with some realism. And her Ironheart book was very good. It was very well written. And so I think she's got a bright future at Marvel. And just seeing, her come up on Twitter, she's being so cool about it. Like she's just like, so like the average person, like, oh, hey, I'm writing this for Marvel. Like, this is kind of crazy the way she kind of reacts to her books coming out. It's pretty cool. And then also, I think we need to talk about Christopher Priest, because he's someone that kind of went through it all to get his name out there as far as a creator in comics. He's got that iconic Black Panther run. He just finished a run on Deathstroke. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I heard it was very good. Yeah, that it was very good. He had a run on Justice League for a little bit. But
wasn't so good.
I think I think his reputation precedes him a little bit. I think there are reports that he's a little difficult to work with. But I think if you're an opinionated Black man in this country, and you stand up for what you believe in, you get kind of labeled as that. So I don't know if that's really the truth. And then you got to just see he had real humble beginnings. He had to work for everything from writing to being the editor, and for them just want Spider-Man editor, and for Marvel just wanting him to stay in that role and not do anything bigger than that. And I think a lot of it kind of disillusioned him, but he still was able to put out, plenty of great projects over the years.
Okay. Dope.
Jay.
Oh, you want me to go next? Okay. I can do. I sorry. I was probably like nice to let everyone else go a little bit before I jumped in this. In terms of just, I think someone who deserves a lot more credit than they're getting is Vita Ayala. They have been busting their ass doing so much work in the background of DC and Marvel currently. They are finally getting their chance to shine. And now that they're getting more work to do in comics, I'm excited to see what comes about from them. But in terms of the overall landscape from women, non-binary people, and LGBT people, I see a lack of it. I was having a discussion with a few different people about DC and Marvel's diversity currently when it comes to creators. And someone was trying very hard to defend DC for doing better when it comes to creators. And DC, like diversity at both companies has the problem of it's twofold. You need to get diversity when it comes to your creators, and you need to get diversity when it comes to letting those creators tell the stories they want to tell. Because you can have amazing creator like James Tynion IV come in and be bisexual and tell the stories that he wants to tell. But there is not a single person of color working at DC right now except for David F. Walker that I know of. Unless there are editors and artists that I don't know about, there is a lacking at DC. Thankfully, Marvel just took a big stride with this Marvel Voices book, and there's other books going on that have Black voices, but there is a lack of Black women getting the platform they deserve. There is a lack of LGBT coverage across the board that is not getting the coverage it needs. So
I think with Marvel that there's not a lot of like people that are on staff continuously, like that have like ongoing. I think that folks like Nindi Okorafor and like way back when, I don't know if she's had anything recent, Roxanne Gay, but like
But I think her last couple in terms of comics, wasn't Roxanne Gay's last thing was War of Wakanda?
Yeah.
I think after that experience, I don't think she wants to work with Marvel anymore.
Yeah,
I can understand why.
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Yeah, like they've I think that like they tried, but like they're not good at it. Good at the sustaining part of it.
Yeah, I think Marvel likes to greenlight a lot of books, but doesn't plan on supporting them. They just hope they kind of stick on their own.
That's the biggest problem with just like with Marvel is they will love to put something out there just so they can say they put something out there.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. But then there's even DC that's just like, no, we know it won't sell, so we're not going to do it. And it's a problem because we are suffering from the issue of thinking with the industry as a whole. We have an industry that is operating with a monopoly in terms of its distribution that still hasn't been addressed because no one wants to even deal with what could be the backlash of it. We have a lack of diversity when it comes to just the people in your shop. Like, yes, there's amazing strides when it comes to like LGBT shops and people of color shops when it comes to comics, but the stereotype of the neckbeard going into the comic shop is still the fact, and it sucks. So
yeah, I see it every Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's like you see these hordes of white men being the main audience of book buyers. And it's why All New, All Different Marvel turned right back into basic Marvel, where like your only black books like currently on the ground, the only black books at DC and Marvel are Black Panther and Miles Morales, and you have at DC Naomi and nothing else.
Yep.
Well,
How sad is that?
Forgetting Far Sector, but that's young.
It's not in canon. It's doing great things, and it's a great book. I've read it, but and like I was even having a talk with Ron from You Don't Read Comics about it. It's like, look, I am happier than all hell, and I will raise my fist in pride that there is a black woman as a character in a Green Lantern book, and is the main star of that Green Lantern book. But is she the main Green Lantern of 2814 in the main DC universe? No. It's a problem.
I could have told you that.
So,
right.
like,
I mean, but as we've talked about before, DC are idiots for not putting out a Batwoman book or a Black Lightning book when there are TV shows out for both that are doing pretty well.
Yep.
And they just canceled Supergirl, but I think the show is close to being canceled too, if the reports are correct.
Yeah.
Travis,
I'm just frustrated. Travis, dude. Wait. I don't know.
What's up?
Do you want to speak on this?
I mean, the only one I can think of is N.K. Jemisin with Far Sector, which it's still not getting all the support it needs. Which is like kind of, I don't know. It's frustrating because like there are some like super black comics that a couple I can think of that were on the fringe but are just now getting traction. Trill League and Tuskegee Heirs.
I was just reading about that.
Yo, honestly, like Tuskegee Heirs, if you guys have ever heard of Marcus Williams or Marcus the Visual, he does the art for that book, and they've only had like 3 issues, something like not very much, but they haven't gotten much support. But the book is pretty much about like the kids of the Tuskegee Airmen being heirs to like their stuff and then being superheroes with it, and it's wonderful, honestly. And then Trill League was supposed, and then Trill League was supposed to be kind of like the best way I could put it is Black Teen Titans is what it looked like to me. But
you know what? I've heard isn't 50 Cent trying to turn that into a cartoon?
Yes, it's just
I'm reading about that one too.
Yep.
Damn.
I don't know. I've been like kind of like keep a close eye on those two for a long time,
and it's frustrating because you can tell that the people who are making these are incredibly passionate about what they're doing, but like just Black creations aren't getting support in the mainstream because people don't think it's going to sell or whatever, and it's because of these dumbass neckbeards that think if they see more than 2 Black people, all of a sudden their whole medium is being lost.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, that's what makes it funny.
No, you're spot on.
It's sad. It's sad.
I honestly don't think I see a lot of Black people in the comic book store I frequent.
Yeah.
I see some, but they don't seem to be any better than the neckbeards, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm in Santa Cruz, and like I know all the Black people that go to I know them. Like I know all most of the Black people, so like I
are
know
you on
all
first
the
name
Santa
basis
Cruz-
with them?
I know all the Santa Cruz Blacks.
I do. I certainly do. And,
Okay.
And I know of the Santa Cruz Blacks, which ones go to.
That sounds like a
comic book store
gang.
here.
That sounds like an organization of some kind of Santa Cruz Black.
Santa Cruz Blacks, fool. But anyway, Andre, you got something for us?
I was peeking through the Googles because I was like, I need to refresh myself. I'm reading about the Tuskegee heirs and looking at the cover art. I'm like, damn, that looks dope as hell. I need to find that and I need to read that. Mm-hmm. And then I was just reading a list of like Black comic creators and whatnot, and two females piqued my interest because I mean James knows I love Sailor Moon like more than anything, so I'm like I like magical girl animes because hot girls fighting evil. That's great. Two don't judge me.
You are valid.
Thank you. Two comics that I'm reading about are one's called Agents of Realm. It's about college age girls fighting evil. It's by what's her name? Mildred Louise. Probably I'm saying her name right. Maybe. I don't know. Look, okay. Art looks dope. And then another one is called Princess Love Pawn. Created by Shauna J. Grant. She's from New York. And, those are the...
Look at you shout out the web comics. Look at you.
I know. I've come a long way. I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you, too.
Thank you. True League also looks hella dope. Especially from the cover I'm looking at, because it just looks like Robin with an afro.
And a fade.
And a fade and a Nelly Band-Aid on his face from like 2002. But yeah, his high top fade is looking hella sharp. So yeah, I feel like Black content creators and Black female content creators are few and far between, and that really needs to change like really fast. Yes. Jasmine will probably agree with that.
Oh, she definitely would. She would definitely have a lot to offer those. Dr. Jones, I feel like you did a great job this evening. Is he here?
For some reason, I dropped off.
Oh no.
I'm back.
I think you did a great time this time.
I appreciate you. Any other things that folks want to kind of chat about? I like real quick. I'll just, of course, I will always and forever. The dopest.
You are cutting out, good sir.
No. Bitterroot, dopest thing out. Like,
yes.
You gotta read it. You have to. That it is everyone's assignment. Like you're at home.
Issue 6 just dropped.
The internets make it happen.
The internets.
Legally.
Get up on them internets and go to what was it? Joe's Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Buy Bitterroot and support David F. Walker and Chuck Brown
and Sanford Green.
actually support them by actually going and buying it.
Pre-orders are important. Chuck
and
Brown talked
pre-order.
about that last week on the show. Pre-orders are important.
Hashtag pre-order.
These books.
Although it's again something that's not necessarily by a black creator, but it at least has the main character is black. I like Outer Darkness. I can't remember when the next issue is coming out. It's by John Layman, and the art is by Afu Chan. It's it's a mix of like horror and in space. Like there's an exorcist on board, and a lot of wild things happens and are happening. And the captain is black, and he don't give a shit about you. So I appreciate that.
Good book.
I remember as well. Marcus was shouting out Philadelphia as well.
Yes, issue 4 just dropped this week.
Mm-hmm. Good ass book.
So that's definitely something to.
It's horror and history mixed together.
Yes.
Pretty dope. Yeah. Any other things from folks about this episode, about unsung heroes, about like really highlighting folks that we want to see more of? Like there's so much. There's so many experiences and voices that are out there that don't get the shine that they deserve. That there's a kid somewhere who has a perspective that we don't see represented, and we would love to see more of that because our future needs it, so that they can tell their stories of it. So cool.
Support On the Stump by Chuck Brown.
Yes, it's very good.
Whew.
That book is wonderful.
If there are characters you like, support them. There's a good Miles Morales book on the stands. Check it out.
Yes, it is. So
I put a Trill-League photo in the chat if you guys want to peep that.
I did peek that.
Well, now, Dr. Jones, I want to thank you once again for leading us through this discussion. I feel like we continue to have these amazing discussions when it comes to stuff like this. This was the bomb.
I feel very enlightened today.
Yes.
That is the goal.
I'm proud of myself.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here, folks. Don't forget that you can check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio now. Not SoundCloud. And I see the thing was, I even tried this week. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. And I contacted SoundCloud, and they said, you know what? We don't do uploading someone else's RSS feed to SoundCloud anymore. You have to pay us to host your shit. And I was like, you know what? No. So SoundCloud is still, we refuse to support you. We are iHeartRadio now. We're gonna get us on Pandora. So yeah, check out all these different places where you can check us out. Rate us on Apple Podcasts. Help us people find us easier. Give us that 5-star rating, please. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at On Comics Ground and on Blerd Grounds. Both of those things are on Twitter and Instagram. So please check us out. And check out the website On Comics Ground every weekday for new content like reviews, previews, op-eds, and solicitations. All right. Dr. Jones, since you let us through this discussion, what was your closing statement for this episode of Blerd Grounds?
Support what you want to hear, and it will hopefully proliferate. So do it now, like now. All right.
Marcus, do you have a closing statement for this episode?
Who do you think you are? I am.
Well, all right then.
YouTube it.
All right then.
Say it with your whole chest then.
I'm serious. YouTube that.
Travis, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Buy some black books so these ridiculous companies can understand that they sell. There you go.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Andre, what is your closing statement for this episode?
To again reiterate, buy things that you like by creators that don't get their shine. So these ridiculous companies will know that, hey, this is a thing that people like. Maybe we should invest more money. And Samuel Bunta's.
Excellent. My closing statement is I smell new shoes. Samuel Benta, hit me up. We can have a conversation. And the thing is, I am not. And the thing is, I came off earlier as really like condescending and like an asshole about it. No, dead ass. If you, I want you to come here. I want to have a discussion with you. I want to literally go. Who do you think you are coming out the woodwork after all these years? I want to talk to you. I will give you your time to speak. So
he's gonna go Gail King on your ass.
Yes, I will give you the Gail King. I will let you be R. Kelly in the chair. I will give you your time.
I'm fighting for my life.
Regardless of the joke, but no, dead ass. Samuel Benta, hit me up. We'll talk.
Get that trending on Twitter.
And also support the creators you want to hear from. There's good stuff in the works, but we need to get more stuff going. We will catch you folks next time right here at Blerd Grounds. Peace out.